FBI supervisory special agent to join us. Thank you, Chris, for being here. 10 years later, why do you think we're finding out about this now? Is it all about a new administration and discovering these burn bags, or is it something beyond that?
Well, I think in regards to the burn bags, it's a lot of speculation as to whether or not any information relating to the Seth Rich death is in there. But I do think it is evident of a more transparent administration, the way that Director Patel has come in and pushed for transparency and getting the information out there. I'm always a fan, as long as it doesn't violate someone's due process, of getting the information out to the public, because that tends to quell the conspiracies.
Right, yes, and there are plenty of conspiracies associated with this. It is an odd case where it's a robbery, but nothing was stolen, allegedly, and people have linked, or at least alleged links, through the email leaks to WikiLeaks regarding the DNC related to how Bernie Sanders was pushed out of the primary so Hillary Clinton could assume that. That is the allegation. Do you see any merit to those things? And if that were the case, do you think the FBI should release that? And what do you think the implications would be if so?
Well, unless it's going to violate someone's constitutional rights, the FBI should release the information. Now, they may not be able to release all of the raw information, as sometimes raw information could be not as reliable as direct testimony or evidence obtained from a computer. I remember at the time, I wasn't still in the FBI at the time. I was in my last 3 years with the FBI when this case happened. And there are some things that caused me to raise an eyebrow. The fact that as you mentioned, that his belongings weren't taken from him when his body was found, the way he was shot out into the park, and the fact that it appears that someone accessed his computer in his office prior to law enforcement arrival at the DNC headquarters. All of those things would draw some concern for me. But it's my understanding, and from what I recall, that the FBI had a limited role at the time in just providing some support. I think they did some forensic examination of the images of the computers from his office, but those images were done by a third party, so it wouldn't be anything that the FBI would be able to provide direct testimony of. This is the actual computer that we took a look at. I would say that if there wasn't any information that was found in burn bags or leftover case files before they were put into storage, if that information does not exist and there isn't anything out there, I would think that the FBI at some point would put that information out that, hey, we've looked through the records and there's just not anything there.
Okay, last question. We were told that law enforcement was handling this investigation, local law enforcement, not the FBI, and now we potentially find the FBI has records. Do you find that strange? How would you sort of reconcile that information?
Well, I would find it strange that the FBI would find records after that amount of time. Again, the FBI's role initially was limited in scope. It was the Metropolitan Police Department that was the lead investigative agency, and the FBI didn't really have any jurisdiction in the matter at the time. But I would think that the forensic examination of the information that was given to them from the computer images that were conducted by a third party, that the FBI should be able to release that type of information, unless, of course, there's information in there that would usurp someone else's constitutional rights. They may not be able to release specific names or addresses, personal identifying information. But in the context of what they have, I would think that some statement will probably be forthcoming. Now, as far as whether or not the FBI actually has information in those burn bags, I've seen that in reporting from some news sources that are out there, but I haven't heard anything definitive that the FBI actually has that information. And I would hope that someone from the FBI would make a comment reasonably soon that they've looked through those documents and whether or not they were contained in those burn bags.
Yeah, well, when you have a congressman sending out X posts on it, it certainly is getting a lot of attention, and I don't think it's going to go away. Chris Hinkle, thank you for joining us today and helping us understand this situation.